YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek, and this is my little channel on the interweb for all things geeky and cool. Today guys, we're taking a look at another action figure review. We're looking at the Star Wars Hasbro Black Series 6-inch scale Sabine Wren figure, number 33 in the wave here actually. Now she's a really new figure, so new in fact that she's actually going from the pre-orders that were done online, being shipped out now as far as recording this video, and she actually is turning up in brick and mortar stores. The only store that I have seen that's gotten this figure in stock is GameStop. I don't know why GameStop. I have no clue why. No Walmart, no Toys R Us, no other stores that I've seen. Target, no other store has gotten this wave of figures in yet. I actually got her on a toy hunt. I'll put a card above so you can actually click on the actual video where I actually found her. I went completely nuts when I found her actually. I was really happy to get her. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a breakdown segment. We're going to take her out of the packaging. We're going to look at the things we always look at. We're going to look at the paint, the articulation, the accessories, and then at the end of the video, we're going to pose a question to you, the viewers. Is she worth your money? Stay tuned, guys. We're going to go into breakdown. Okay guys, we're in our breakdown segment looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Sabine Wren from the Rebels TV show. So first thing before we do anything, we always look at the packaging. This is your typical Black Series packaging here, which has a showcase of the figure over here, which is artwork. Nice window box, as you can see the figure inside as well as the accessories, and of course the name of the figure down here, it says Sabine Wren. On the side we have the typical black stripe with the red text, and of course over here is the number 33 at the top, which showcases the number of the figure in the particular wave. We have more art over here, which is the same art that you saw on the front, and a little write-up. It talks about Rebels, about her, Sabine rather, in the actual TV show. So packaging aside, let's actually look at Sabine as a whole. Well, there's a lot going on with this figure, first and foremost. There's a lot of color in this figure. The shoulder pads are different colors. Her hair has different colors, as you can see here. Very, very striking. I like the way it looks. Very different. Most figures have a very uniform color scheme. Her, as far as Sabine goes, very different colors, mixed match through the actual figure, and that's based on her character in the Rebels TV show. I think, from what I've seen on the TV show, she does a lot of spray painting. She does a lot of graffiti, so it kind of showcases off to the figure. It kind of represents in the figure itself that artistic side to the figure. I really do like it. Going back to the figure itself again, kind of tannish colored leggings here, high boots, knee pads, kind of checkered shoulder pads, which we talked about. But let's actually look at the figure's articulation. There's a lot of articulation packed into this small little figure. First of all is her head sculpt. Really nice head sculpt. They did a good job on the actual head itself. It looks like Sabine when you see her. She has a lot of movement. I mean, her head can go down literally 45 degrees. It's on a very high peg. I did notice that when I was playing around with the figure. Full range of motion, completely 360 if you want to go that far. The joints are a little tight. I had to break the figure in a little bit to get it, you know, because it was really stuck. They can go out to a full 360 at the shoulders, on both shoulders, no hindrance there. Even from the shoulder pad, they do move up a little bit, as you can see here, at least from that perspective, as you see it sliding up and down. So there's no hindrance at all. She does have looks like a double jointed elbow, no, single jointed elbow, and she has a wrist swivel. The actual wrist itself doesn't swivel, but the hand does, and it does have a little bit of movement here. Not a whole lot, but a tiny amount of it, so it can rock up and down. Because her big claim to fame is, of course, her pistols. She can spin. It looks like 360 degrees at the waist, so great amount of movement there. The belts do not hinder, her holsters here do not hinder any of the articulation in the legs. It is rather stiff though. You can swivel at the thigh cut. She can go out to almost a full T. I don't want to put any more pressure than this on the figure. I don't want to pop the leg joint out. It may be able to go into a further of a split, but I don't want to risk giving it more give than it really should, as we can see here. Now she can do a nice kick, good amount of movement. She does have a double jointed knee here underneath the knee pad, as you can see the joints here on the side, as well as a lot of movement on the calf. She has no boot cut as far as boot articulation. It's all one solid piece from the second joint of the knee down to the ankle. So all this here is one solid piece, and there is no swiveling really at the joint. So it's just a simple double jointed knee, just so you guys would know. Now, let's putting her aside here. She does have a lot of accessory. I mean, she has a decent amount of accessory. I won't say a lot, but a decent amount. Let's put her over here. The very first thing she has is the really cool Mandalorian helmet. She is a Mandalorian quote-unquote warrior, at least from the write-up. When you look at this, you swear it's Boba Fett with a maroon coloring. So I love the way it looks. It does have the scope, and it does articulate the rangefinder down, so it can go up and down. Putting it on her head's a little tricky because you have to break this particular helmet in, but once you get it on, it's a very snug fit. It does not hinder any of the articulation at all. She still has the same articulation points that you saw originally, so great amount of movement still with this helmet on top. If you want to remove it, you can, and it comes off rather easy once you break the helmet in. First couple times putting the helmet on, it's really stiff, so just so you guys will know, you have to break it in, which I can understand the reason why. Next thing we take a look at, of course, are her weapons. Let me put her back into the shot here. Bear with me. Perfect. She has two identical pistols, as you can see here. They're both gray in color. No real paint on them. I wish I would have put a little bit of paint on these particular guns, but there isn't any. But I think it works okay. I do love the way they look. Now, you can store them in the actual holsters on her belt. They can go in all the way. I'll kind of store one so you kind of see what it would look like. It pegs in all the way, as you can see here, and it pegs down to the bottom of the holster. So I'll put the second one in, why not? So let's put both pistols into her hand, into her belt, into her holsters, and it would look like this. Now, if you want to have her wielding the pistols, you can do so as well. She does have a posed trigger finger, as you can see here. Let me get her back in the shot. Move her arm down. And it is a posed hand. Both hands are sculpted in this fashion, so she can actually hold her pistols in that particular pose. I do like that her hands are sculpted to hold both her weapons with no particular issues. I do like the way it looks. So you can get her into, a pose something along these lines. You can get her into really dynamic action poses. I do like that. I do like when you can really accentuate the figure in like some dynamic poses. I'll probably put her in a light box just so you can see some more poses out of her, what you can actually do with this figure. You can get into really, dynamic action stances. Now, the other accessory she has here, and I'll put these away, is one other piece. It looks to be, from what I'm seeing, either a detonator or a paint sprayer that she uses in this TV show. Rather plain, not much really to it. I'm assuming it's probably a paint sprayer because she does, like I said, a lot of graffiti. It's rather small and it probably could be lost. One thing you can do with this, which I was messing around with earlier, if you have the guns in her hands, you can store this particular paint holster, or paint into her holster itself. It's not a perfect fit, but you can get away with it, something along those lines, so you're not going to lose the part. And I do like that a lot. I hate having accessories that are just thrown about and you can't stick them on the figure. That's what I like about this one in particular. She has just enough accessories to whet that appetite for the accessories themselves. You don't have too many, you don't have too little. It's just right. It's like Goldilocks section that I really, really like. And I mean, you can, something along those lines. So she has her paint or detonator, which I think it's a paint can. It's a fancy paint can, I'm assuming. So I mean, it really comes across really, really well. I really like the way she looks here. You see me finishing with her pose a little bit, and that's probably one of the little weaknesses I would say for this figure. She's very petite. She's very thin. Her build's rather small, and to get her into a halfway decent pose is a little tricky. So just take that in mind. So with that being said, guys, let's go into final thoughts and wrap up this video. Okay guys, final thoughts on the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale Sabine Wren from the Rebels TV show. I really like this figure for a female character. I really like the way she looks. Very artistic, very, a lot of colors pop on the figure, mixed match of colors, so it's not a one solid color tone that we normally see in normal figures. It's all disjointed and mismatched, and I really like the personality this figure really has. The amount of poses you can get in this figure is ridiculous. A great amount of articulation, no real hindrance. I mean, we talked about the legs having some issues getting it past that split, but that was the only real big issue I had. As I mentioned in the breakdown, great amount of accessories. Not too much, not too little. It's that just right portion I love. I like how that helmet can come off. I like how you can put the rangefinder down like Boba Fett. This is a sort of throwback to the whole Boba Fett motif in a female form. Again, the only real issues that I really saw with this figure is the slimness of the actual body. But that is the way the character is represented in the Rebels TV show. She's a very young, petite woman. So I see what they're trying to do. It is a little tricky to break the joints in. Mine was really, really stiff. So I mean, if you ask me, should you buy this figure? I actually recommend this figure. This is a really well done figure for Hasbro. They hit this one dead on the mark on this one. This is definitely a buy. With that being said, guys, I hope you liked this video. Always click that big subscribe button at the bottom of my videos now. You'll see two little windows on the side, which you can click for more videos. And with that being said, take care and bye-bye.